scale up for somebody like AAZOL is very much there because the ecosystem, we talk about how San Francisco is the bed of, or Silicon Valley is the bed of innovation. I think today in India's time has come where the ecosystem around an entrepreneur, whether it is in logistics, whether it is in, let's say, web designing, whether it is in a back end like Shopify, we today have many support systems around an entrepreneur for him or her to scale up fast. I think it just requires vision and ambition. Things. One is very clearly just by being visible. The umbrage I take with women of our earlier generation is the moment they became leaders, they didn't want to be seen as women leaders. They didn't want to be seen as women leaders. No, I'm a leader. Why are you slotting me under women leadership? But the fact is that unless women see women leaders, where will the inspiration come from? As it is, there are such few of them. The default gender of leadership is always considered to be male. So unless there are enough women out there, how will a woman aspire to be a leader? So I think just by ensuring visibility, which I think you're, Stuti, through your network, you're doing a great job. The other thing is
thank you.
The messaging. And again, the umbrage I take is that a lot of women came from that, I'm so great and, I could do it, but many of you can't. I think the point that we have to make is that if I could do it, so can you. I mean, look at me. I have the same problems. I have the same issues. I'm exactly in the same boat as you. I go through the guilt of leaving my kid at home or managing a household. So to be as real and as authentic as possible. So again, there is inspiration that is drawn by other women that if she could do it, so can I. It should never be, oh my God, she has some special skill and talent, only she could do it. That's the wrong messaging I think women tend to give. And finally, practical guides, practical inputs, practical lessons of how to build a business and constantly giving them the reassurance that Mansi did so beautifully just now, that it's not about, you don't have to do an IPO. You don't have to become a 10,000 crore company. You can, as long as you're making a difference in one person's life, 10 people's life, 100 people's life, as long as you're running, as Meghna said, an ethical and sustainable business, that's good enough. Just do it.
That, really believe in yourself. I think one of the things that I've learned through my journey, and not many people believe this when I say that to them, that I was really not confident. I would never get on a panel like that. I would be so nervous and I'd just make some excuse and get out of it. And Zoom has really enabled that because now, with the balance, with the family, with the work, I can actually be here. But I think really believing in yourself is, I think a lot of women, do not believe in their own potential. So I know it sounds very simple and very but it's very difficult to actually put into action. So please believe in yourself, have the courage, and you will have ups and downs. I think one of the things that I realized in my journey as an entrepreneur was that I made a lot of mistakes. I took decisions that didn't turn out to be good, but I owned them and I moved ahead. And I think that's keep advancing in whatever you're doing. And that is what I would like to say. So you're right. And I think Nykaa as a brand, we've seen it grow, right? Like in the last, I don't know how many years it's been, but I mean, at least for me, last 8-10 years that I've seen it like as a smaller website and, and buying makeup, and now for it to become what it is. And I think that leads us to what Mansi asked, to what Apurva answered. I feel like you're right, Mansi. I feel like that's true, that a lot of them start off and then they don't know what to do, right? A lot of them I know are working alongside being entrepreneurs on the side, right? So they've got their full-time jobs, so they can't afford it. It's like a side thing. But they would love to give it up to become full-time entrepreneurs. And I feel this Nykaa story is something we should really, publicize amongst the young women out there, because they really need to know that it is possible. And I feel like all of us, I think that the reason that I like coming on these platforms is so that I can meet so many different people who are doing such amazing things, but you don't hear of it, right? So I think platforms like Women Inspiring Network is great because women find out that there are other women out there who had a small idea, lots of passion, and and they've managed to do so much with it. So I think this Nykaa story is really amazing. Truly, I've been quite inspired by it as well, and I hope more and more women entrepreneurs get this opportunity.
I was just adding that, as an influencer, earlier I used to just concentrate on my content. But since the time, because of the pandemic, I have also come up with ideas of my own business and everything. So social media in a way has been a really big support for all of us, especially the small businesses and entrepreneurs, because I didn't have a website to start with. So I started putting the things on my Instagram handle or Facebook handle. So that's where I started getting orders. So now also Facebook has so many groups which really help you grow as an entrepreneur. And I see so many of women coming out there and putting out, they have started their pickle business or they've started their snacks business or whatever. So I really wanted to just add that social media has been a really big boon. And earlier I think it was just okay, chalo aaj Instagram khul ke dekh lete hain ya Facebook khul ke dekh lete hain. But now we found ways on how to sit at home in a place and still grow our business. So that's been great. We can also do is collaborate, like how we guys are collaborating, helping each other grow. I really feel that if at least we help 5 of them, giving them a platform which we have, I think that will be a great help. So this is one thing. It's very important to collaborate, especially, and I have seen this a lot in women specifically, be it from any field, that when they come together, people say that, oh, women are jealous of each other's success. But no, as far as I have come across women, they are really happy to help you grow. So I really feel that conception is really wrong. And if more women come together, it will be a great help to all those who are budding.
I'll give you a small example of a brand who serves, vegan health food and things like that. And she reached out to me and said, because we run a women entrepreneurship program, especially for women trying to create their businesses on digital, with helping them with a lot of social tools, etc. And they said that, listen, I'm never going to scale. It's so niche. It's so customized. I said, but there is a customer out there for it, right? So of course, it's not going to be at say a case in point like a Nykaa, but that's okay. Like Whole Foods didn't become Whole Foods on day one, right? So go ahead and still curate it because there is a market for it. So do not judge or benchmark your success by anybody that you see in the recent space. And just like Apurva said, that of course the digital has kind of made it much easier for women to start off anything that they want. And of course, it's created a lot of it's become like a level playing field for everyone. It doesn't matter where you're based out of. And of course, technology is the big differentiator in many ways. But also, I would add to that saying, and to Kanisha's point earlier on, that guys, when you're building your businesses on digital, please own your audiences. Of course, build it on social, but very, very important to own your audience. So you are not at the mercy of a Facebook or an Instagram or a Google, and you own your audience in many ways. So tomorrow, if the platform changes or loses relevance to your audience, you own your audience and you can still connect back to them in many, many different ways. And therefore, Kanisha, they need to start a website, right? Because the dollars spent on building your platform or your brand through any of these mediums are only going to go higher. And we've seen that, and a lot of D2C brands have seen much, much higher conversion when they're retailing directly versus largely relying on external platforms.
No. So I was just going to add that, two things. One is that one of the biggest myths is balance, because progress really doesn't happen by being continuously balanced at all moments in time in every aspect of your life, right? So, my personal hack is really having a personal spider chart of all the things that I want to do in life and all the different roles that I play in life, and then knowing that at any given point of time, if I need to, do something in an area, I do need to be out of balance in a couple of other areas, right? It's otherwise progress doesn't happen. But I think the other thing that I see a lot in the younger generation, and I will generalize it to the younger generation and not only women, is I think the balance sometimes tilts on the other side, where you're too vocal you need to invest, you need to give your 200%, rather than like, saying, okay, like, am I getting a 5% jump? Am I getting a 10% jump? Am I like, so that's sort of a, like a mindset which I see in the younger kids sometimes is, you need to show impact. And your real growth will happen when you show impact. And impact doesn't happen by sort of switching and flipping, right? And by demanding. You have to show impact first, and then everything else follows. And that's sometimes like, the message, sometimes I feel it's an inverted pyramid. So if I were to give a metaphor for life, I would say like, a river. Because you go slow sometimes, you go fast sometimes, you have many twists and turns, you have bends and curves, but you carry on, right? And that's the thing with the river and with the water, that you keep carrying on. And it's very different from the the typical image of climbing a mountain. Like, that's one kind of success where you're saying that, okay, like, it's always up and up. But in a river metaphor, that there will be periods of slowdown. And I think Apurva was mentioning, and Mansi, you were also mentioning that, be comfortable with those moments. One of my earlier mentors had told me, make it a comma, not a full stop, right? And commas are wonderful things. They allow you to continue, and they allow you to be flexible, and they allow you to persist. And that's what's required.
Lovely. Is also, I think women need to spend on themselves. We spend on our kids' education, we spend on our husband's education, on their needs. I'm telling you, we started this program, which Apurva rightly said, that, what are the real actionable hacks that women can actually put in their day-to-day lives or running their business. And even if it means a few thousand rupees, which could actually potentially mean not even a cup of coffee, a cup of tea per day, lower than the cost of a cup of coffee or tea a day, they're still hesitant because they don't want to invest. They don't want to bet on themselves, which is so strange. You want the world to bet. You want to go around raising angel rounds and this rounds and get investments, but you don't want to bet on yourself. You don't even want to spend 10,000 rupees on yourself, because why? Why are you so underconfident? Right? And I understand, rightly so, but that's why you invest in education. You invest in networks which will provide or help you be that guiding force or get you into those actionable tips. So I would just say that bet on yourself for a change, right? It's okay. At best, you'll not get anywhere, but that journey will be, fruitful enough for you to get to the next big thing that you want to do.
Taking that step is everything. Yes. That cushioned job that I had, it was the best thing in the world I had. There's nothing, calling me to tell me you have to leave the job. My brother told me one day when I called him that I want to leave my job. He said, आपकी पहचान zero है. आपकी job नहीं है. आप सिर्फ एक Mrs. Suri बन के रहने वाले हो. You want to do this in your life? And it scared me further. कि नहीं, मुझे तो ना job ही करनी है. But then yes, I took that leap of faith and जिस इंसान ने मुझे ये महसूस कराया ना कि मैं वो step लेना चाहती हूँ, पर मेरे में courage नहीं है. Stuti, I have given my hand to pull that person here, from making paper bags of their brand to sitting on planning the whole branding, and I'm getting nothing out of this, but I think it's my bigger purpose of life. The day we all get that purpose of life, I think our lives change. It takes time. हर एक की awakening एक वक्त पे आती है. शायद मेरी 38 पे आ गई, लेकिन मुझे तो अब after Nykaa success लगता है 50 पे मेरा एक और वो आएगा. Then I'll become another mom of 2, 7 sister-in-laws, big joint family, married in a very, very conservative family. Now they are different, but if I can do it, anybody can do it. I was not allowed to, even do a job when I got married. It was the first shart that was kept for my marriage. The girl will not work. And my father said it's her choice. But then I changed the game. And I became the heroine of my own life. And I took that step and everybody supported me. So if I can do it, guys, anybody can do it. So